Hey there, Walt here from Walton, PA, and I think I might have a problem. So what I have here in this fancy RevZilla box that was delivered fresh yesterday is the Puig windscreen for my Honda CB650F. It was something that I talk about in a couple of motovlogs back, and I thought in this video we would do a quick unboxing, maybe put it on the bike, take it for a spin, and get my first impressions. Lots of packing material. Bam! Free wine voucher that I'll never use. Alright, so it looks like this box has seen better days. When I ordered this, I checked back the following day just to get a screenshot or something for a video, and I noticed that they were out of stock. So I must have gotten the last one. I wonder if this was sitting around for a little while in the warehouse. So we've got a exact fit for a Honda CB650F. New generation windscreen, light smoke. And there we go. If you want to know more about this particular windscreen, head on over to RevZilla. I'll have a link down in the description below. They'll tell you all about the material, the makeup, the new generation windscreen styling, and anything else you might want to know, technical wise. That's kind of cool. The CBF cut into the hardware. Alright, so it's time to install this Puig windscreen, and the instructions say to take these two bolts out, pull the Voltron head forward, and that'll give you access to two other bolts, but I think the two I need access to are right here, right on the outside. Here and here. Because that's kind of where the clips align. The instructions aren't extremely helpful, so I'm going to pull those bolts out and see if that does what I need it to. Alright, it's on there, and I think I understand why the instructions wanted you to take those two bolts out. Just to give you a little room here. You really can't get a socket on there, but it's easy if you just use a 12mm wrench. You just loosen up the bolt that's pinching the fork, slip the mounting bracket over top, tighten it back down, and it's pretty solid. I was afraid it was going to move around a bit just because of the way it's locked in there. It's just there's like a half C-shaped cutout. It slips down over top of the bolt, so there's nothing really locking it in. It's just pinched in place, and then there's a little tab that rests on top of the fork there. So it's installed. Let's go see how it works. All right, well, the Puig windscreen is on. It actually doesn't look bad at all. I was afraid it would look just a little bit out of place. The bike is filthy though. One of these days I should maybe not go for a ride and actually clean it. It might look better. But I'm pretty happy with the way it looks. It looks decent. I have to see what it looks like. Or I have to see how it functions. I mean, that's more important, obviously. So, right about now, you're probably expecting to see the Puig windscreen in action on my Honda CB650. Unfortunately, the footage, there was a bit of a problem with the footage. So, just to give you a little bit of background, the camera that I'm recording this on is a DJI Osmo action camera. My motovlogging setup uses this camera, chin mounted, with a Purple Panda lavalier microphone that wraps up inside the helmet and mounts in front of my face. Now, part of the reason that this setup works so well for me is that the camera has software inside of it that eliminates wind noise. And you may or may not pick up on that sometimes if you're watching a motovlog and a big gust of wind hits me. If I'm mid-sentence, my voice may get a little choppy, sometimes a little distorted. That's the software kicking in, trying to take the wind noise out of my helmet. Ordinarily, that software works extremely well, and it cuts out most of that ambient noise inside my helmet, and it doesn't transfer over to the camera. I'm super happy with the setup from that standpoint. Unfortunately, the Puig windscreen creates a significant problem with my motovlog setup. So the whole point of this windscreen is to get the air off my torso and get it kind of up and over my shoulders. And the idea is to act like a windbreak, make things a bit smoother, eliminate that wind buffeting. And it does that very well. It pushes the air up and over, and it actually hits me about right here, right under my chin. I can feel the air on my neck, and I can feel the air on my helmet. And in essence, all that air being directed right at my helmet created so much wind noise that the camera couldn't compensate, and there was a lot of choppy audio, a lot of glitchy audio, and it just wasn't very good footage. I'll pull the highlights so that you can see some of what's going on, but in the grand scheme of things, I don't like the windscreen. It's actually going to come off my bike. I've ridden it twice since then, hoping that I could just get used to it, but the wind noise is incredible. If I had to put a number on it, I would say that the wind noise with the Puig windscreen is twice as loud as without. And I think that's because it's channeling all the air and focusing it on my helmet. And even with it on there, even if you eliminate the wind noise, I'm not sure that I'm entirely happy with the end result. So when you're riding around without the windscreen, you get an even distribution of air across your whole upper body. It kind of comes at you and bangs you all around. But it's like a steady push, an even steady push all over. When you add the windscreen, it takes away that push on your torso, and while I'm riding around, I can feel my head bobbing left and right. Now instead of my entire torso being kind of shifted around by the air, I felt like my head was constantly bobbing around, being pushed different ways, and that was kind of an unnerving feeling. It was a bit strange to have my body feel totally stable, but my head kind of being pushed around. It was again, it was kind of an odd sensation. So in the grand scheme of things, I'm not really happy with the Puig windscreen. I think it does a wonderful job. It looks really good on the bike. It fits the lines of the bike. It doesn't look out of place. So from an aesthetic standpoint, I think it's a fantastic product. It does exactly what it's supposed to do. Unfortunately, it just doesn't work for me. The wind noise alone is enough for me to pull it off the bike. I suppose I could wear earplugs to deaden that noise, or spend additional money to get a quieter helmet, but unfortunately, I just don't think it's going to work for me. So I'm going to wind up pulling it off the bike. I'm going to chalk it up as a loss. Unfortunately, I can't return it to RevZilla, because at this point it is a used product. It's been on the bike. It's probably got a couple of dead bugs on it, and I wouldn't feel right returning it at this point anyway, even if even if I could return it under the guise of, you know, I didn't like it and I only had it on the bike for, you know, X number of miles. At this point, it's used, it's a learning experience, and we'll move on. Maybe we'll try a GV or a GV. I'm not quite sure how to pronounce it. But there's another windscreen on the market that's much shorter. It's supposed to keep the air a bit lower. Whether or not I want to spend the money to invest in something like that, only to possibly wind up taking it off after 3 rides, is yet to be seen. I'm not quite sure if I want to do that yet. So at any rate, coming up next, you'll see the highlights. And if you don't want to stick around, which I would totally understand given the quality of the audio that you're about to see, I would like to thank you for watching. Please like, subscribe, and share this video. Drop down in the comment section. Give me your thoughts on the Puig windscreen, or your thoughts in general. And until next time, ride safe, and I will catch you later. I really need to work on a better outro. It's just weird. Alright, well, the windscreen is on, and to be honest, I'm not sure that I like it. It's doing a wonderful job of deflecting the wind off of my lower body. I can feel it pretty much hitting me right under my chin. You feel the air coming across my neck. It's kind of choppy. But the big difference, the thing that I like least is the wind noise is insane in my helmet. I want to say that it's at least twice as loud. On the flip side, it's definitely doing its job. The air feels less turbulent. When I have like an SUV or something past me, I don't feel as pushed around. I mean, I can definitely feel the air swirling around, but it doesn't feel like it has as much push. Highway speeds now, and the noise isn't a whole lot louder than it was when I was doing 40, so I'm not sure. I'm going back and forth. I think I'm going to have to take some time to get used to the new setup, whether or not I actually like this windscreen or not. The air is definitely less turbulent. It's kind of nice change of pace. It's still an odd sensation to have my head kind of bobbing around. Well, I think that's going to do it for this Walt NPA video, showing off my new Puig windscreen for my Honda CB650F. The jury is still out at this point. I'm not sure whether it's going to stay on the bike or not, but one thing I know for sure is that I have a headache